47. Keep the three inseparable. Okay, so there's a lot of threes in Buddhism, as you can tell. Here, the three are referring to our body, our speech, and our mind. This is a very common thing. We've talked about this before, even starting at the beginning of this video, that things will start in the mind and come out through our speech, through our body, our actions. So in body, our speech, and mind, they should always be inseparable from teachings. That's what this particular slogan is, which is a very good thing to strive for. So keep the three inseparable. Our body, speech, and mind are actually inseparable from Holy Dharma. 48. Train without bias in all areas. This is a good one. Train without bias in all areas. It is crucial to always do this pervasively and wholeheartedly. This is often talked about. So these practices include everyone and everything that comes in our life. There's nothing that we would say, yeah, everything I'm going to bring into the path of the teachings except for my noisy neighbor, except for the ex that broke my heart, except for that coworker who gets on my nerve. Everyone. There's no bias here. When we talk about compassion, we're talking about compassion for all beings, period. We don't start saying, I like you, I don't like you, I'm ignoring you. Going all the way back to the 5 skandhas, the 12 nidanas, we know that that brings us to trouble. So from a sense of emptiness, loosening those identity markers that we put on everyone, if I like you, I don't like you, and I ignore you, and then entering into the place of compassion, we are saying that there is no bias here. We're going to train without bias in all areas. Wherever we are, we're not going to just say, I don't like you, so I'm not going to hold you with compassion. It is crucial to do this pervasively and wholeheartedly. So, across the board. It's a really important point, actually, that we don't leave anyone on the cutting room floor when we talk about our compassion. Anyone. 49. Always meditate on whatever provokes resentment, which is not what we want to do, right? That's not what no one wants to be like, you know what I want to meditate on? Resentment. We're like, I want to meditate on, my upcoming vacation, on that creative endeavor. This is something that's like, hey, there's going to be things that hold our mind, that get our attention, that are not necessarily pleasant. And the instruction here is to turn into the skid, which is, a driving term. That instead of trying to avoid the skid, then we spin out, actually turning into the skid will actually free us. So leaning into the situation as is. So the things that feel difficult, as opposed to just letting them fester and become worse in our own mind, we would weigh on you even more. We would actually say, I'm going to just turn my mind in that direction. I'm actually going to acknowledge that that's there. And thus, by leaning into some of the difficult parts of my mind and my life, and acknowledging them and being there, and just saying that that's a real thing, I'm here with it for a minute, turning our mind to it could actually help free us from it. Not the stories, we're not trying to generate a lot of stories around all of our woes, but whatever difficulty arises, whatever feels difficult to you, whatever provokes resentment, always meditate on it. Always meditate on whatever provokes resentment. Meaning we allow ourselves to be open to it without judgment, without stories, without spinning out more ideas around what it should be or how it used to be. We let all that go. Here, meditate on means that we just be open to it, present to it, even if we feel resentment, we're just there and it's okay to feel it. Feel the feeling without the story. Feel the feeling without the story. Always meditate on whatever provokes resentment. Turn your mind to the things that are difficult. Don't let them fester. 50. Wow, we're really cruising. Don't be swayed by external circumstances. This is a really important one. We could be rich, we could be poor, we could be swamped with work, we could be laid off. Whatever our external circumstances are, we don't let our practice fall off because of that. There are going to be times when everything seems to be going our way. We keep meditating even in those times. Because there will be other times that, nothing's going our way, and that's really, really hard for us, and it's also good that we've been meditating all that time, because then our mind is prepared to actually deal with that stress. The analogy I like to use is meditating when you're feeling stressed out is a little bit like saying, oh, I've got the dentist tomorrow, I should probably start brushing for the first time this year. Right? It's like that. But if we've been brushing our teeth all year, going to the dentist isn't a big deal. Same thing. Whether our external circumstances are positive or negative, we don't let our practice fall off. We should always maintain our mind. We should always, we wouldn't just say, oh, it's no longer bikini season. I shouldn't run anymore. I shouldn't exercise or move my body. Right? It's just like we have to continue on with the practice. Just because at some point these 5 months together end doesn't mean that you let the practice fall away. That's not the idea. In fact, we'll have supports for you so that you don't have to lose any of the community and any of the teachings if you don't want to. But you should always keep up your own meditation practice because that is the most important part of this whole thing. So number 50 is don't be swayed by external circumstances, i.e. always maintain